an abhyasa. You cannot just meditate directly on the lotus face of Lord. No, it should start from the lotus feet of Lord. That is how even in Kunti Maharani prayers, Namah Pankaja Nabhaya, Namah Pankaja Madhve, Namah Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankaja Angre. Kunti Maharani starts from the Navi because she is auntie of Lord, the maternal aunt. Maternal or paternal aunt? Maternal. What do you call? Atya is
Bua,
what?
bua,
Maternal, maternal.
paternal aunt, bua.
So now, if she starts looking from down, it will be very embarrassing, right? So she sees from the Navi. There it is mentioned that meditation, the process of meditation should begin from the lotus feet. Eka, ekakshaha, one to one after another. Angani, limbs, dhiya, by attention. Anubhava, anubhaveta. See, this the word is very important. Anubhaveta. Anu means following the footprints of the previous acharyas. In that way, we can meditate. Pad adi, first legs, then comes the thighs, then comes the navel, then comes the chest, then comes his. We can meditate on his wonderful hands, wonderful bujhaye. We can meditate on his griva. It means his neck, then his lotus face, in that his smile, hasitam. Adi has been given. Pad adi yavata. Yavata means still. His smile. Gada brutaha, the personality of God. Jitam jitam. That means slowly controlling the mind. Sthanam, place. Aphoya, leaving. Dharayet, meditate upon. Param, higher and higher. Shuddhayati, with Shuddhayati dhihi, with purified intelligence. Yatha, as such. So the process of meditation should begin from the lotus feet of the Lord and progress to his smiling face. The meditation should be concentrated upon the lotus feet and the calves, the thighs, and in this way, higher and higher, the more the mind becomes fixed upon the different parts of the limbs, one after another, the more the intelligence becomes purified. So, are we going to do this now? It is very clearly said we don't have capacity to do it. Only when a person reaches to that stage of samadhi, samyak adhyate asmin atmatmayam, where he can understand his relation with Lord, and because of the mercy of Lord reveals. We cannot just enforce meditation. If we try to enforce meditation, it will not work. This is what was the question I asked to His Holiness Brad Bhagavad Maharaj, when he was teaching the art of chanting. At the time I asked, while chanting, what should be our thought process? Where should I concentrate? The lotus feet, or the lotus feet, face, or the whole vigraha? Where should a devotee concentrate? Simple. So this was a general question in the class I asked for everyone. Like when we ask, generally it's for one's own self only. So where should I meditate upon? He clearly told you should meditate on Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I heard it. Somehow I was not much convinced about it. I was just thinking, I read that one should meditate on the lotus feet of Lord. I was not really convinced. Somehow I took it. I did not argue anything. I had gone to Ayodhya, and there I was chanting morning 4 o'clock. I was chanting. At that time one sadhu was there. He told me, "Beta, come here." I old child. I told, yes. आप जप करते हैं? मैं हाँ करते हैं. तो आप किस पर ध्यान करते हैं? तो हम सुनते हैं. जप करते समय आप क्या करते हैं? सुनते हैं. ठीक है, अच्छी बात है. ध्यान किस पे लगाते हैं? अगर ध्यान भगवान पे लगाने का कोशिश करते हैं, ध्यान नाम पे लगाओ. नाम पे you meditate on the name of Lord. And when you meditate on the name of Lord, the name of Lord will be imbibed in your consciousness to such an extent. So wherever you will see Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Even if you open the eyes and chant, you can see this Mahamantra. If that you can see, then understand Sthavar Jangama Dekhi, Na Dekhi Tara Murti, Sarvatra Hoi Vijeshta Deva Surti. That means wherever you see, you will see Krishna. Because name and person are non-different. Naam and Nami are non-different. In this Kali Yuga, Lord has appeared in the form of name. And if we chant the name very nicely, it is Lord who reveals at the stage of bhava. So we are just sadhakas. At the stage of sadhana, we can meditate on the holy name. And slowly, when the stage raises to bhava, prema, it is Lord who reveals. At that time, this becomes very easy because it is purified intelligence, purified consciousness. Because if you read this verse, and I will try from tomorrow to meditate on the lotus face. Oh, why not coming? Somebody else's face is coming. There will be a struggle within our heart. We'll try to meditate on the lotus feet. Something else we think, अरे feet से मैं thighs में क्यों नहीं गई, calves में क्यों नहीं गई, then why we have not gone to neighbor. So there will be a struggle in our consciousness, and then the satisfaction in chanting the holy name will not come because there's a struggle. So this process which has been given, it is at the highest level of Ashtanga Yoga, where a person reaches to the stage of Samadhi, where he has now Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Even at that level also, he has to cross the Pratyahara. And what is a Pratyahara? Even at the level of mind, there should not be any sense gratificatory objects. Okay, I have tried to, in pranayama, I have tried to keep the things aside. Oh, I'll not look at Rasgulla at all. I am going to now do the pranayam. But Rasgullas are jumping in my consciousness. What to do? In my pratyahara, in my mind, I'm not able to remove that. So even for a yogi tries to keep things away. Devotees tries to bring everything towards Krishna. See, this is two ways. One is keeping everything aside. I don't want naiti. I don't want all these things. I don't want all these things. One is I want everything. Everything for the service of Krishna. Isn't it? I want everything. I want everybody's pocket to be served to Krishna. Isn't it? That is how you become the biggest beggar. You ask everything. You ask everyone. Whoever you see, you ask donations. Yes, you give so that I can use it in Krishna's service. I can buy good clothes for Krishna. I can serve Krishna. I can serve cows. That means I'm not rejecting. Our movement is acceptance. That is known as Yukta Vairagya. You are Vairagi, but Yukta Vairagi. Falgu Vairagi, you say you don't want anything. You don't want anything, also you don't want to give also anything. You have something, then only you can give. Everything you have rejected. Okay, very wonderful. You have rejected, you have done, you are doing your Ashtanga Yoga, but at the level of Pratyahara, that is where the test comes. What is a test? Though there are so many yogis who try to do so much of tapasya, at the level of Pratyahara, they fall down. Many people fall down. Some thought processes come, some girls come, this come. That is a stage where there is an examination. If they cross that also, then comes dharana. Dharana, dhyana, samadhi. At the level of dharana, they can take one object and meditate upon it. Like for a devotee, now Janmashtami, full concentration in Janmashtami, isn't it? Adi Satviki Mother, you are responsible over there, responsible person, responsible preacher. What was your thought process? Only Janmashtami.
Janmashtami, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanavad Punam. This Janmashtami, I was dressing the Lord and I was also decorating Srila Prabhupada's Vyasasan for the next day. So I was totally like, I didn't have a single minute to do any nonsense. So I was totally engaged.
Everybody gets one services. So they are completely focused, and that is dharana. That is dhyana. And that is only samadhi. For a devotee, what is dharana, dhyana, samadhi is not sitting in a solitary place. Even at the level of dharana and dhyana, till till that yogi comes in touch with a devotee, he doesn't know what is samadhi. What to even meditate upon, on to whom to meditate, that is also a big question now. Whom to take, whom to meditate upon. So here, that is why purified consciousness, that is given. Purified consciousness. Okay. Vimla, read.
Mataji, I should read?
Wait, I told Vimla to read. Huh?
No, I thought
Wait.
you said Narayana read.
No, wait. Let Vimla Mataji. Your voice is not heard. Voice. Huh? Sound. You are unmuted, but why the sound is not coming? Not coming. Something wrong from your side, I think. Okay, Krishna Priya, read. Where is
Hare
Krishna?
Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna Priya Mataji, I want to ask you one question. Where you stay?
Hyderabad Mataji.
Oh, I am coming to Hyderabad.
Please
I
come
will
to
let
my
you.
house Mataji.
No, I
Please
have only
Mataji, please.
one hour in airport, so I want to meet you. I will just share the details to you.
Okay Mataji, if you come to my house, please Mataji, please. I'll come and pick you from airport. When are you coming Mataji?
Afterwards, I'll tell. Now you read.
Okay. Hare Krishna Mataji. एकैकशृङ्गानिधियानुभावयेत् पदादियावद्दसितं गदाभृतः जितं स्थानमुपोह्य धारयेत् परं शुद्ध्यति धीर्यधा यथा. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The process of meditation should begin from the lotus feet of the Lord and progress to His smiling face. The meditation should be concentrated upon the lotus feet, then the clays, then the thighs, and in this way higher and higher. The more the mind becomes fixed upon the different parts of the limbs, one after another, the more the intelligence becomes purified. Purport. The process of meditation recommended in the Srimad Bhagavatam is not to fix one's attention on something impersonal or void. The meditation should concentrate on the person of the Supreme Godhead, either in his Virat Rupa, the gigantic universal form, or in his Sakshid Ananda Vigraha, as described in the scriptures. There are authorized descriptions of Vishnu forms, and there are authorized representations of deities in the temples. This one can practice meditating upon the deity, concentrating his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord, and gradually rising higher and higher up to his smiling face. According to the Bhagavata school, the Lord's rasa dancing is the smiling face of the Lord. Since it is recommended in this verse that one should gradually progress from the lotus feet up to the smiling face, we shall not jump at once to understand the Lord's pastimes in the rasa dance. It is better to practice concentrating our attention by offering flowers and tulsi to the lotus feet of the Lord. In this way, we gradually become purified by the archana process. We dress the Lord, bathe him, etc. And all these transcendental activities help us purify our existence. When we reach the higher standard of purification, if we see the smiling face of the Lord or hear the rasa dance pastimes of the Lord, then we can relish his activities. In this Srimad Bhagavatam, therefore, the rasa dance pastimes are declined in the 10th canto, chapters 29 to 34. The more one concentrates on the transcendental form of the Lord, either on the lotus feet, the calves, the thighs, or the chest, the more one becomes purified. In this verse, it is clearly stated the more the intelligence becomes purified, which means the more one becomes detached from sense gratification. Our intelligence in the present condition state of life is impure due to being engaged in sense gratification. The result of meditation on the transcendental form of the Lord will be manifested by one's detachment from sense gratification. Therefore, the ultimate purpose of meditation is purification of one's intelligence. Those who are too engrossed in sense gratification cannot be allowed to participate in archana or to touch the transcendental form of the Radha, Krishna, or Vishnu deities. For them, it is better to meditate upon the gigantic Virat Rupa of the Lord, as recommended in the next verse. The impersonalists and the Vaidists are therefore recommended to meditate upon the universal form of the Lord, whereas the devotees are recommended to meditate on the deity worship in the temple. Because the impersonalists and the Vaidists are not sufficiently purified in their spiritual activities, Archana is not meant for them. Hare Krishna.
Mm. Yeah. So Archana is not meant for them. Because the personalities in the world is are not sufficiently pure. So this stage only can come when a person understands the personal relationship. First understands that Lord is a person. For that, even an Ashtanga yogi or a jnani has to come in contact with a devotee. A devotee only understands that Krishna is a person. यावन्न जायेत परावरीस्मिन् विश्वेश्वरे द्रष्टरि भक्तियोगः तावस्तवीयः पुरुषस्य रूपम् यावसाने प्रयतस्मरेत यावत् as long as does not jayeta develop para transcendental avare mundane in this form Vishweshwarai, Lord of all worlds, Drashtari unto the seer, Bhakti Yoga, her devotional service, Tavat, so long, Stavayah, the gross materials, Purushasya of the Virat is Purusha, Rupam, universal form, Kriyavasani, at the end of one's prescribed duties, Prayataha, with proper attention, Svareta, one should remember. So, unless the gross materialist develops a sense of loving service unto the Supreme Lord, the seer of both transcendental worlds, he should remember or meditate upon the universal form of Lord at the end of his prescribed duties. So, if he is not understanding, unless he is not developing that loving service towards Lord, better he meditates on the universal form of Lord. What is the meaning? Whatever you see, you should understand that this is like you'd see a tree. Oh, this is Lord's hairs. Lord is going to explain about the universal form. Because still that loving relationship has not come. I am not able to serve Krishna. He eats. Is it? There is a doubt. Somebody say, yeah, he eats. Oh, is it? So that means still that loving relation has not come. Okay, not come. Okay, look at the universe. Look at the things around you. Look at the hills. Look at the trees. Look at the clouds. And connect it to Lord. Now that is how the universal form of Krishna is going to be explained very beautifully in this chapter. This is for those people who have not developed that loving relation with the Supreme Lord. They are not able to accept Tumara Pratima Nahi Sakshat Brijendra Nandana. You are not Pratima, you are Sakshat Brijendra Nandana. You look at us, you speak to us, but I am not able to hear. I am not able to understand. But you try to speak to us. You are trying to look at us. When there is a difficulty, we tell to the whole world, isn't it? Except to the Lord. We think that all are hearing. Only Lord is not. So, but Lord hears, Lord sees, Lord accepts, Lord eats. So in this way, there are many instances where Krishna increases this faith in the devotees. Many instances. Every devotee must have experienced some or the other. In some way or the other, every devotee must have experienced. When you're performing devotional service, small instances makes you understand, yes, Krishna is a person. Because as a sadhaka, even we are also coming out of that stage of impersonalism. We are also coming out of the stage of voidism, impersonalism. Because before coming in contact with our acharyas, how many of us have felt Krishna? Only when we come in contact with acharyas, we understand, yes, Krishna eats. Now Krishna has to develop that faith more. Like once I'll tell you, I was dressing Lord. And bar, I was just thinking, change the blouse of Radharani. I said, see, I have dressed you enough now. I'm not going to do all this nakras. Bar. Then I thought, let it be. Bar, it is coming, let me change. Then I understood that I wore it ulta. So that like this small instances increases the faith. Yes, my Krishna is eating. Oh, my Lord in the house is eating. He is dressing. He is taking my service. Why this happens? To make us have more strong faith that what you are serving is not to a doll. You are serving Lord, who appears like a doll to you. But he is a person. He is a supreme person who is accepting our services. Many instances are there like this. Every devotee must have experienced some or the other instances. Understand immediately. That time, Lord, immediately you should not think that I have become a biggest acharya, now Lord and I. No. Lord is trying to increase our faith on the words of our acharyas. Simple. We are not immediately become a parshadas of Lord. Or, or we may start thinking, yeah, I'm a parshad, I know that is why Lord and I am just a servant of the servants in the Guru Shishya Parampara. And whatever my gurus have taught me, whatever my acharyas have taught me, Lord is trying to inculcate that strong faith in me. Always understand this. Whenever such instances happen, where sometimes this miraculous things happen, where you feel, yes, Krishna has revealed this to me, immediately one should understand, yes, this is because of the mercy of my Guru Shishya Parampara, because of my mercy of Srila Prabhupada, our direct acharyas who are students of our Srila Prabhupada, who are disciples of Prabhupada. In this way, one should always pay immediately obeisances to our Diksha Guru, who are training us in Krishna consciousness. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado, yasya prasadat magati kutopi. Dhyayanstu vansastya yashasya sandhyam vande guru shri charanarvind. That is how see even the Mangalarti ends with this verse. That means because of your mercy, Krishna, I have got Guru. Because of the Guru Krishna, I have got you. That means mercy of both are so interdependent that because of one's mercy, this person's mercy, that person. So that is how one should pay obeisances. Okay. Adi Satyaki Mataji, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Reading verse number 14. Yavanna jayate parabare hasmin visheshware drashtari bhakti yogaha tabat sthaviyaha purusasya rupam kriya vasane prayataha smareta. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Unless the gross materialist develops a sense of loving service unto the Supreme Lord, the seer of both the transcendental and material worlds, he should remember or meditate upon the universal form of the Lord at the end of his prescribed duties. Purport: the Supreme Lord is the seer of all worlds, both material and transcendental. In other words, the Supreme Lord is the ultimate beneficiary and enjoyer of all worlds, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 5.29. The spiritual world is the manifestation of his internal potency, and the material world is the manifestation of his external potency. The living entities are also his marginal potency, and by their own choice, they can live in either the transcendental or material worlds. The material world is not a fit place for living entities because they are spiritually one with the Lord. And in the material world, the living entities become conditioned by the laws of material world. The Lord wants all living entities who are his parts and parcels to live with him in the transcendental world. And for enlightening conditioned souls in the material world, all the Vedas and the revealed scriptures are there, expressly to recall the conditioned souls back home, back to Godhead. Unfortunately, the conditioned living entities, although suffering continually the threefold miseries of conditioned life, are not very serious about going back to Godhead. It is due to their misguided way of living, complicated by sins and virtues. Some of them who are virtuous by deeds begin to re-establish the lost relation with the Lord, but they are unable to understand the personal feature of the Lord. The real purpose of the life is to make contact with the Lord and be engaged in his service. That is the natural position of living entities. But those who are impersonalists and are unable to render any loving service to the Lord have been advised to meditate upon his impersonal feature, the Virata Roop, or universal form. Some way or other, one must try to re-establish one's forgotten relation with the Lord if one at all desires to gain real happiness in life, and to reclaim his natural, unfettered condition. For the less intelligent beginners, meditation on the impersonal feature, the Virata Roop or universal form of the Lord, will gradually qualify one to rise to personal contact. One is advised herewith to meditate upon the Virata Roop specified in the previous chapters in order to understand how to different planets, seas, mountain, rivers, birds, beasts, human beings, demigods, and all that we can conceive are but different parts and limbs of the Lord's Virata form. This sort of thinking is also a type of meditation on the absolute truth. And as soon as such meditation begins, one develops one's godly qualities, and the whole world appears to be happy and peaceful residence for all the people of the world. Without such meditation on God, either personal or impersonal, all good qualities of the human being become covered with misconceptions regarding his constitutional position, and without such advanced knowledge, the whole world becomes a hell for the human being. Thank you very much, Mataji. It is so nice. The purport was so nice.
Hmm. This whole second chapter is so wonderful.
Yeah.
Next batch was the first batch was now doing the third canto. They were like mesmerized. This whole chapter is very beautiful, especially the purpose given by Srila Prabhupada. That's why I'm not hurrying. Let us do it peacefully. There's no hurry. Stiram sukham chasanam asito yate यदा जिहासुरिममङ्गलोकं काले च देशे च मनो न सञ्चयेत् प्राणानि यच्छेन्मनसा जिता सुः स्थिरं without being disturbed, sukham comfortable ch also, asanam sitting accommodation, asitah being situated, yatihi the sage, Yada, whenever Jihasu desires to give up imam this angauking lokam, this body, Kalin time cha and deshe in proper place cha also manaha the mind cha na not sajjayet may not be perplexed prana the senses near chet must control manasaha by the mind jita also conquering the life air. Okay, whenever the yogi desires to leave this planet of human being, he should not be perplexed about the proper time or place, but should comfortably sit without being disturbed and regulating the life here should control the senses by the mind. Now, Bhagavad Gita 8.14 Prabhupada quotes. What is there in the 8.14? Jesse, open 8.14 Bhagavad Gita. Open.
Mataji, it is Ananya Chetasa Cheta
Oh,
Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashah Tasyaham Sulabha Partha Nityayuktasya Yoginah.
Ananyas Chetaha Satatam. Where is remembering me? Ananyas Chetaha Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashaha Tasyaham Sulabha Partha Nityayuktasya Yoginah. Okay, this is one thing. Go to the 6th chapter. When the body should leave and all.
Chapter.
Yogi.
Which verse, Mataji, it is?
Go to the 6th chapter. Where it is said what time it has to be, body has to be left. Then he attains Lord. Where are those verses? Just open. Right time. Where is it verse? Just open. What is the
Yes.
right time for the yogi to leave the verse, to leave the morning hours, this hours, that hours? Where it is? Yeah.
It is.
Where is it? Really? What's the right time?
I'm trying to search the same verse. It's not in. I'm not able to find it in sixth
Yeah,
chapter.
open. It is there. 5th chapter, see, or see the
Just a minute,
time to
Mataji.
be 4th chapter. Somebody see 4th chapter, somebody see 5th chapter. It's not there in 4th chapter, it's not there in 6th chapter, it is there in 7th chapter. Just see where very clearly it is said morning hours, this hours, that hours. So that is why this verse is there, where it is very clearly said, yogi need not bother what time. It is there in 8.25, just see.
Eighth chapter.
8.25, 8.26, according to the Vedas. 8.26, there are two ways of leaving this world,
Eight
one in light, one in
23.
darkness.
From Mataji, it is from 8:23 to 26.
26 onwards is there. Okay. So then, but previous to that in 8.14 itself, Krishna has told, though you don't have to think so much, but there are yogis who think a lot. They think a lot and they want to leave the world in the proper time. Oh, it should be Shukla Paksha, it should be daytime. Hmm? It should be Uttarayana, not Dakshinayana. Here very clearly it has been said. He doesn't have to think so much. Suppose he leaves the body planet in night time, then so a yogi don't have to think so much if he is in service of Lord. That means a devotee need not think so much. This yogi is which yogi? This yogi is the yogi who is in the transcendental service of Krishna. So your a devotee can leave the planet anytime. It doesn't matter. Whatever time he leaves the body, he is engaged in thinking about Krishna only. So it is very clearly mentioned here. A devotee did not think a lot. Okay. Okay. Will read. Vasandhani Prabhu, please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thanks for the service. Sriram, Sriram, Sukham, शासनम् अस्थितो यति यदा यदा जिहासुर इमम् अङ्गलोकम् काले च देशे च मनो न सज्जते सज्जेत प्राणां नियच्छेन् मनः मनसाचितासि. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Yes. Translation. O King, whenever the yogi desires to leave this planet of human beings, he should not be perplexed about the proper time or place, but should comfortably sit without being disturbed, and regulating the life air should control the senses of the mind. Purpose. In the Bhagavad Gita 8.14, it is clearly stated that a person who is totally engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord and who constantly remembers Him at every step easily obtains the mercy of the Lord by entering into His personal contact. Such devotees do not need to seek an opportune moment to leave the present body. But those who are mixed devotees, alloyed with fruitive action or empirical philosophical speculation, require an opportunate moment for quitting this body. For them, the opportune moments are stated in Bhagavad Gita 8.23 to 26. But these opportune moments are not as important as once being a successful yogi who is able to quit his body as he likes. Such a yogi must be competent to control his senses by the mind. The mind is easily conquered simply by engaging it at the lotus feet of the Lord. Gradually, by such service, all the senses become automatically engaged in the service of the Lord. That is the way of merging into Supreme Absolute. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay. Next verse. मनः स्वबुद्ध्या मनः स्वबुद्ध्या मलया नियम्य क्षेत्रज्ञयेतां विनयेतमात्मनि आत्मानमात्मन्यवरुध्य धीरो लब्धोपशान्तिर्विरमेत कृत्यात्. मनः the mind, स्वबुद्धया by his own intelligence, malaya unalloyed, niyamya by regulating, kshetrajya unto the living entity, etam all of them, vinayet merge, tam that, atmani the self, atmanam the self, atmani in the super self, avarudhya being locked up, dhira being satisfied, labda upashantihi one who has attained full bliss, virameta ceases from kriyat all other. Thereafter, the yogi should merge his mind by his unalloyed intelligence into the living entity, and thus and merge the living entity into the superself. And by doing this, the fully satisfied living entity becomes situated in the supreme stage of satisfaction, so he ceases from all. Srila Prabhupada tells one thing: every day morning you say, I am divine. That means what? Merge your mind in divinity. Merge your mind in the self. That means understanding the position of the self. Why only at the last? Why only at the time of quitting the body? Every day. I am divine, I am divine, I am divine. At least artificially also, if you go on chanting this, I am divine, I am divine, I am divine. Then slowly, matra sparshastha konteya shitoshna svaruktana. Agamapayi vamutyaha satiksha svabharata. The tiksha swaha, tolerance comes. It doesn't come in one day, it takes time. But again, I am divine, oh, I am divine, oh, I am divine. So in this, it goes on. So slowly, it is an abhyasa yogena. It is an abhyasa yoga. Okay. Narayana, read.
Yes, Mataji. मनः स्वबुद्ध्या मलया नियम्य क्षेत्रज्ञ एतां निनयेत् तमात्मनि आत्मानमात्म आत्मानमात्मन्यवरुध्य धीरो लब्धोपशान्तिर्विरमेत कृत्यात्. Manha, the mind, Swabuddhaya, by his own intelligence, Amalaya, unalloyed, Niyamya, by regulating, Kshetrajñe, unto the living entity, Etam, all of them, Ninayet, merge, Tam, that, Atmani, the self, Atmanam, the self, Atmani, in the super self, Avarudhya, being locked up, Dhiraha, the fully satisfied, Labdha Upashantihi, one who has attained full bliss, Virameta, ceases from Krityat, all other activities. Translation and purport, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Thereafter, the yogi should merge his mind by his unalloyed intelligence into the living entity and then merge the living entity into the super self. And by doing this, the fully satisfied living entity becomes situated in the supreme stage of satisfaction so that he ceases from all other activities. Purport. The functions of the mind are thinking, feeling, and willing. When the mind is materialistic or absorbed in material contact, it acts for the material advancement of knowledge, destructively ending in discovery of nuclear weapons. But when the mind acts under spiritual urge, it acts wonderfully for going back home, back to Godhead, for life in complete bliss and eternity. Therefore, the mind has to be manipulated by good and unalloyed intelligence. Perfect intelligence is to render service unto the Lord. One should be intelligent enough to understand that the living being is, in all circumstances, a servant of the circumstances. Every living entity, every living being is serving the dictates of desire, anger, lust, illusion, insanity, and enviousness, all materially affected. But even while executing such dictations of different temperaments, he is perpetually unhappy. When one actually feels this and turns his intelligence to inquiring about it from the right sources, he gets information of the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Instead of serving materially for the above mentioned different humors of the body, the living entity's intelligence then becomes freed from the unhappy illusion of materialistic temperament, and thus, by unalloyed intelligence, the mind is brought into the service of the Lord. The Lord and his service are identical, being on the absolute plane. Therefore, the unalloyed intelligence and the mind are merged into the Lord, and thus the living entity does not remain a seer himself, but becomes seen by the Lord transcendently. When the living entity is directly seen by the Lord dictates to him to act according to his desire. And when the living entity follows him perfectly, the living entity ceases to discharge any other duty for his illusionary satisfaction. In his pure unalloyed state, the living being attains the stage of full bliss, labdhopashanti, and ceases all material hankerings. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Labdho Upashanti. Nice word. Labdha Upashanti. Full of bliss. Labdha Upashanti. Upa means Lord. Shanti means attaining the full bliss. Writing one more verse. When Kusum will get an opportunity to read. न यत्र कालो निमिषां परः प्रभुः कुतो नु देवा जगतां य ईशिरे न यत्र सत्त्वं न रजस्म न रजस् न रजस्तमश्च न वै विकारो न महान् प्रधानम् Na yatra kalo nimisham, not wherein kala, distracted, time, animisham, of the heavenly demigods, para superior, Prabhu controller. Kutaha, where is there? No, certainly. Devaha, the demigods. Jagatam, the mundane creatures. Ye those, ye shire rules, no not, yatra therein, sattva mundane goodness, no nor, rajaha mundane passion, tama mundane ignorance, no cha also, no nor, why certainly, vikara transformation, na nor, mahan the material causal ocean, pradhanam material nature. In that transcendental state of labdhopashanti, there is no supremacy of devastating time which controls even the celestial demigods who are empowered to rule over mundane creatures, and what to speak of the demigods themselves. Nor is there the mode of material goodness, nor passion, nor ignorance, nor even the false ego, nor the material causal ocean, nor the material nature. So, in that state of pure consciousness, Labdhopashanti, there is no influence of time. First, there is no influence of time there, and also there is no influence of the three modes of material nature. Sagunan samati tetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. This is the phrase from Bhagavad Gita. This is the shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Sagunan samati tetan. Come out of all this, even becoming good to people. Don't behave good to people. Because if you behave good to people, they'll expect more goodness out of you. You be divine to people. Divinity is more important. That is what is expected from everyone. If you try to be good, they'll expect more good out of you. And you're wasting time being good to them. Because howsoever you may be good to them, there is always an expectation. If you're bad, nobody will say you become worst. But if you're good, yes, they'll say, hey, become more good. I want more. Like the child gets 80%. The parents expect 85. If the child gets 35%, then the child mother will not say come to 25%. So if you're worse, they will not tell you to become worst. But if you're good, they'll tell you to become better and then best. And this goes on, goes on. Better is be divine. That is the best. Be divine in the society. Connect to people so that you can connect to Krishna. Connect them to Krishna. If they are not interested, be silent. Not necessary that for everybody you have to give time. If by giving your time you are able to connect them to Lord, fine. Try out. 3 times, 4 times you can try out. Or pranam, Dandavat pranam. The whole world is waiting. There's somebody who's really waiting for getting Krishna conscious. It can be your own parents also. It can be your own relatives also. You can try out. You should try out. You should try to give in some way or other. Somewhere or other. By good prasadam, by good association, everything. But you cannot be just behind. At the same time, you cannot fight with them. This is pranam. Maybe sometimes whenever they want, they will come. Just don't waste time. Bas. Okay, this was the verse. So come out of all these three gunas. Then only one can attain this labdhopashanti. Labdhopashanti. Hmm. Sumanjali Devi Mataji. Please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Dandvat Pranam. Na yatra kalo nimisham para prabhu kuto no deva jagadamya ishire na yatra sattvam na rajastamascha na vai vikaro na mahan pradhanam. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In that transcendental state of Labdho Pashanti, there is no supremacy of devastating time which controls even the celestial demigods who are empowered to rule over mundane creatures. and what to speak of the demigods themselves. Nor is there the mode of material goodness, nor passion, nor ignorance, nor even the false ego, nor the material causal ocean, nor the material nature. Perfect, devastating time, which controls even the celestial demigods by its manifestations of past, present, and future, does not act on the transcendental plane. The influence of time is exhibited by the symptoms of birth, death, old age, and disease, and these four principles of material conditions are present everywhere in any part of the material cosmos up to the planet Brahmaloka, where the duration of life of the inhabitants appears to us to be fabulous. Insurmountable time even brings about the death of Brahma, so what to speak of other demigods like Indra, Chandra, Surya, Vayu, and Varuna? The astronomical influence directed by the different demigods over mundane creatures is also conspicuous by its absence. In material existence, the living entities are afraid of satanic influence, but for a devotee on the transcendental plane, there is no such fear at all. The living entities change their material bodies in different shapes and forms under the influence of the different modes of material nature, but in the transcendental state, the devotee is gunatita or above the material modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Thus, the false ego of I am the Lord of all I survey does not arise there. In the material world, the false ego of the living being trying to lord it over the material nature is something like the moths falling in a blazing fire. The moth is captivated by the glaring beauty of the fire, and when he comes to enjoy it, the blazing fire consumes him. In the transcendental state, the living being is pure in his consciousness, and as such, he has no false ego to lord it over the material nature. Rather, his pure consciousness directs him to surrender unto the Supreme Lord, as stated in the Bhagavad Gita 7.19. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. All this indicates that in the transcendental state there is neither material creation nor the causal ocean for material nature. The above mentioned state of affairs is factual on the transcendental plane, but is factually revealed in a transcendentalist's knowledge of the advanced state of pure consciousness. Such transcendentalists are of two types, namely the impersonalists and the devotees. For the impersonalist, the ultimate goal or destination is the Brahma Jyoti of the spiritual sky, but for the devotees, the ultimate goal is the Vaikuntha planets. The devotees experience the above mentioned state of affairs by attainment of spiritual forms for activity in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. But the impersonalist, because of his neglecting the association of the Lord, does not develop a spiritual body for spiritual activity, but remains a spiritual spark only, merged in the effulgent spiritual rays of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is the full fledged form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, but the formless Brahma Jyoti is simply eternity and knowledge. The Vaikuntha planets are also forms of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, and therefore the devotees of the Lord who are admitted into the abode of the Lord also get bodies of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. As such, there is no difference between one and another. The Lord's abode, name, fame, entourage, etc., are of the same transcendental quality, and how this transcendental quality differs from the material world is explained herewith in this verse. In the Bhagavad Gita, three principal subjects have been explained by Lord Sri Krishna, namely Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. But one can reach the Vaikuntha planets by the practice of Bhakti Yoga only. The other two are incompetent in helping one reach the Vaikuntha lokas, although they can, however, conveniently take one to the effulgent Brahma Jyoti as described above. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
How many verses we did today? We started from 13th, right? 13th, 14th,
5.
17.
Mataji, I have one question. Can I ask?
Yes, yes.
Shloka number 16, translation. Thereafter, the yogi should merge his mind by his unalloyed intelligence into the living entity. Living entity is Jivatma. Yogi should merge his mind into Jivatma. What does it mean? Number one. And then merge the living entity into super self. What's that mean? Soul and super soul. Merge it. Is it engaging the mind and intelligence in the service of the Lord?
Atmavan. What is the meaning of Atmavan? Atmavan means understanding our real self. That is the merging. Merging means understanding. With my mind, I should understand I am servant of Krishna. My mind which focuses on many, many things, even the mind which focuses, now a yogi, he is trying to focus. Now he should focus on his real position. That is samadhi. What is Atma Tattva Yathatmayam? What is my real nature? That is
It is
merging.
merging the mind into the living entity. Living entity
Merging.
is soul, Jivatma, no? So merging the mind into soul.
The constitution position of the soul. Soul means what? Constitution position. Who am I?
Okay.
The mind should understand now. Who am I? Who am I? Am I some Siddhi Baba? The Siddhis
Okay.
also they get
He
some.
should concentrate his mind upon the question, who am I? Consider that. Okay.
I am servant of Lord.
Oh.
Who am I? Because in one stage of dharana, the moment you cross the Pratyahara, Ashtang yogis get the Siddhis. They get Ashta Siddhis.
Hmm.
At that time, the pride can come. So that is why concentrate your mind on the living entity. Who are you?
Okay. I am a servant of Krishna. Keeping that in mind, we should engage our mind on Krishna. That is. Oh. And second is merge the living entity into super self. Does it mean that we should engage our mind and intelligence into service of the Lord? No.
Super self. Yes, Paramatma, who is situated in our heart. And understanding is this Paramatma is actually. Now see, still, bec- only by purified intelligence, he can understand the loving service of Lord. Okay. With that purified intelligence only, he can understand that same person, the same Bhagavan is situated in our heart also. At least he should understand the same Lord is there as Paramatma in my heart, on to whom I should focus.
Merging is not that physical kind of thing. It is only merging our mind, concentrating on the super soul. Is it that?
Concentrating on our relation with the super soul.
Okay.
Merging means what two companies merge like that, or what you're thinking. Merging means understanding, concentrating.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Concentrating on our relationship with the soul. Means we are thinking of the super soul, meditating on the super soul. Is
We
it
are
right
we
or
don't have the
again wrong?
rights to think about super soul. We only can understand we are servant. That is why for a yogi it becomes a very difficult task. Where he tries to understand.
Okay.
But
Concentrating on
Acharya, what
super
they
soul
do, they
means
make us
means we are
they,
doing a yogic activity, not a devotional activity. Okay.
what you said?
That if we say we are concentrating on the super soul, means yogi only concentrates on the super soul, no. So we are not being a devotee. We are doing a yogic activity by concentrating our mind on the super soul. Is it that?
Why
My
you said?
understanding is clear? No.
A devotee understands Lord is there in the heart also. You
Okay.
are not rejecting Paramatma. Are you rejecting Paramatma? Lord is there as Paramatma in the heart. Lord is the Paramatma in everyone's heart. Lord is there as Aksha Vigraha also. So For a yogi, everything is super soul. Now that super soul is who? He is a person. So the same person is there within us. And who am I? I'm servant of that person. So that is why yogi, in what level, at what level he'll understand this, it takes a lot of time. Bahunam janmanam ante, a jnani, a yogi, whatever, to understand that Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. That Vishuddha Sattvam is there everywhere. That Vishuddha Sattvam is present in the heart also. It takes time. Even for a sadhaka, to understand Krishna is a person takes time. Sometimes we do careless chanting, forgetting that Krishna is hearing. We may go on turning our mala, but our mind is not in the mala at all.
Yes,
Just because we are
happens.
roaming with the mala, we cannot say that I am a devotee. I am trying to be a devotee. If you see in the temples, there are so many people who go on chanting. In the houses also, some go on single video from mobiles and then chant. That means still my faith that Krishna is sitting and peeping at me when I'm calling him. That faith has not come. The moment you call a person, what he'll do? He'll come and peep at you. Na? You
Sometimes
call.
it happens.
After
Once what?
calling, I'm looking somewhere else. That means what? You be wherever you peep and sit. I'm not interested in you. So every time whatever Acharya says, chant attentively, chant attentively. Yes, it takes time. Our minds goes here and there. It takes time. Even for
Sometimes
a
it happens by way of an exception when we are able to chant attentively at one point of time. We are very happy that day that this attentive, but it normally does not happen. Sometimes it happens. One or two mala we are able to do in a concentrated way.
yes, out
So
of
then,
16 malas,
yes,
maybe half mala we may do. Not even one or two, even half mala also we do concentrately. Like you go on throwing the arrows. It goes here, it goes there, somewhere it goes and fix at that point.
I was Mataji one day concentrating how much time mind it takes. It takes only 8 or 9 seconds. 9 seconds, 10 seconds, we do something, again it goes somewhere.
That is why they say that concentrate on the name, concentrate on the name, so that when you look, when you open your eyes, you can see the name also. It is an abhyasa, it is not so easy. It's not so easy. Abhyasa yogena tataha. It's not so easy. But yes, it is easy because you're calling Krishna. Somewhere or the other, he will make us. At least we, at least a devotee understands Krishna is a person. That much plus point he has. He cooks for Krishna. He dresses Krishna. Then Krishna will give that buddhi. Okay, while chanting, do nicely, do nicely. So at least better than that impersonalist, better than the yogis and the jnanis, better is a devotee. Okay. पतितनं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः।